Let me now think about the Everette Taylor brand. First of all, has it changed? Like if you think about the Everette Taylor brand that came into Kickstarter, now you're sitting here today, same guy, same brand?
Well, I never got a chance to interview with you, so something must have changed.
Hey, it's a low bar. I mean, we're welcome back anytime. We'll have our next weekly conversation with Everette Taylor. But
I think that I can fully embrace myself as a leader. You know, when you're not sitting in the CEO seat, I hate to say this because I not every CEO is like this, but sometimes you feel like you have to water yourself down a little bit. You have to kind of like hold back a bit. You don't want to outshine the CEO or do too many things or take too many opportunities.
So you
and
look
things
for
like that.
signals. So
Yeah.
you look for a little bit of signaling from the top, right?
For sure. And it feels great to be in a position to really just embrace that brand and embrace myself and fully be authentic to myself. I always
So you
kept
feel
it
like
real.
you're almost more yourself, if that's possible, now than you were coming into this?
Yeah, I think I'm more myself. I've always been someone who's been a really authentic person
Yep.
throughout my journey. But I think when you're numero uno, you're number one, you know, and I feel like you can fully embrace all of yourself in that role. And so I think that's what's different. I think also with Kickstarter, you know, when I was at Artsy, man, it's like still maybe my favorite job. Kickstarter is like close. It's neck and neck. But Artsy was such an incredible job because I got to do something I was genuinely passionate about, the art world, you know, and impacting and democratizing the art world. But at Kickstarter, I'm someone who loves so many things. I love comedy. I love film. I love theater. I love certain comic books. I love new gadgets. And so now I get to literally, like, sometimes I felt like I was a little bit too niche at Artsy. Now I get to really experience and grow my brand and experience the full spectrum of creativity and what life has to offer. And that's been really cool.
How about your followers? If they come along with you, and because as you said, you came in with a huge follower base. They've been following you for the past 12 months in this role. Do they look at you differently? Do you engage with them differently?
I think when you're CEO of such a big brand as Kickstarter, I think I like just kind of up-leveled in the minds of a lot of people and the people that have followed me. And I think, you know, you have different types of followers now, Diane. So, you know, you have the followers that are like genuinely happy for you, and of course like the leveling up. But what a lot of people don't talk about is that a lot of people that follow you aren't always the happiest for you or rooting for you. They're just more nosy and just want to see what's going on.
Like you sell. I mean, look, it's nobody's. The sellout is such a weird concept. I don't even know if it still exists. But I think what's interesting is when you think about now how much is your brand tied to Kickstarter and its success, because you still have, as you mentioned, you've got a lot of eclectic interests, which are not your day job.
Yep.
So how do you think about that going forward? What's your vision for the Everette Taylor brand?
At the end of the day, with or without Kickstarter, without Artsy, I'm gonna be me. I'm still Millicent's son. You know, I'm still a friend. I'm still a brother. I'm still all these things. I'm still a guy that loves art, that loves a good laugh. Like, I'm still gonna be me at the end of the day, and I think you have to be really comfortable with that. And you know, I love Kickstarter. I'm passionate about Kickstarter. It's so intertwined with who I am as a person in my spirit, in my brand. There may have never been a company that's been more aligned with who I am as a person. But at the end of the day, I'm still E. I'm still Everette, you know, I'm still the homie, you know, and so I still want to be an individual always, and it's really important for me to still keep that individuality to myself.
You know, I think to end up, I've lived different parts of the world, and I always felt it took 12 months to get to know a place, right? Like, there's the place I love to get this drink, there's, you know, my park I love to run, whatever. And is that similar, do you think, to the CEO role? Because now you've got not just getting your arms around the culture, but feeling like you've shaped the culture where it kind of reflects more of you. I mean, how significant is the 12-month period? Let's say we're talking to people who are thinking about leadership roles. How long does it take to get comfortable in your skin in these situations?
I was kind of in my bag from the beginning. Like, I felt pretty comfortable. I was very fortunate with the CEO I had at Artsy, who was such a great mentor, Mike Stibe. And, you know, I think he really prepared me for this role in a lot of ways. And it just was so natural. And the people at Kickstarter are so kind and had so much grace for me. And so for me, it wasn't that hard of a transition to me. But I think the two things that I really think about is the importance of diversity and bringing more diversity as a part of the culture. And it's one thing being like, hey, we care about diversity, and then actually doing it and hiring diverse people and creating safe spaces for diverse people. That's another thing. I think the second piece of it is that, you know, at Kickstarter, we're a public benefit corporation where, you know, we want to do good in the world, but changing the culture in a way to understand that, hey, us growing and making an impact, us growing just means that we're making an impact. Growing and trying to be ambitious, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's not a
Making
bad
money is
thing.
not a bad thing.
Making money is not a bad
If you make
thing.
it the right way.
If you're utilizing it in the right way, if you're reinvesting it back into the business. So I think that was a shift for Kickstarter, you know, to be like, hey, let's drive more revenue, let's get more growth, and not to do it just for the sake of making money, but because we have so many things that we want to accomplish and do for our creators and backers, and to be able to reinvest that back into our community, but also to reinvest it back into our team. I tell my team all the time, look, I want to see you all be able to put your kids in private schools if you want to buy homes, to invest in art, or do whatever you want to do. Just because you're in a company that is doing good in the world doesn't mean that you should have to sacrifice and have to struggle
No
yourself.
vows of poverty necessary.
Yeah.
I think that's important.